So we're going to talk about how we're going to aggregate those customers and go into this about where do we start getting site visits. As takeaways at the end of this, I want you to kind of understand what kind of hardware you're going to need to do this. Hardware's not expensive. I have guys that do great websites for as little as $6-7 a month. I'd be happy to do. They get our landing pages. You know, they do websites too. Tracking analytics, some of this stuff is free. But depending on where you're going to go aggregate these customers, and you say, hey, I'm going to go market online here, there's different sets of these that are more relative that you might need in one fashion or another. And I want you to understand what technology you're going to need based on how you're going to market. All right. This is the dude, where's my loan slide? All right. So where's traffic come from? Who said that they currently market online? Give me a traffic source that you guys pull off online. Anybody? Google. All right. Google AdWords. What else? Zillow, LendingTree, both pay-per-click and lead aggregators. What else? Homes.com. I'm sorry? Homes.com. Any social media guys in here? Social media, Facebook. All right. Does anybody think that there's a single set of technology, single technology stack that will produce an effective ROI across all of those? Why not? Why not? What do you, the people that were doing social media, what's the primary thing that you require to affect your social media blogging? Anybody that's social media guys? What's the number one tool that you use? Sorry? One more time. Sign up. The guys that are doing LendingTree, are you guys doing landing pages? Or are you doing sites? Okay, selectively. That's my point. For those of you who don't market online right now, I want you to understand we're going to cover there's a lot of different ways to get this traffic. And there's very specific tools that we're going to get into based on where your traffic comes from. So the first part of the traffic that I want you to just have in the back of your mind is pay-per-click. Pay-per-click is all about getting a consumer who's out online, actively shopping or passively shopping, has an interest in a mortgage. And these aren't leads. These are site visits, right? This is somebody that maybe Google AdWords, you said, I've got an AdWords sponsored for home purchase in San Ramon. It's pretty specific, right? Maybe you're on a rate table or a newspaper in Bankrate, and Bankrate's going to take somebody who saw your advertisement there. It's still going to be a click. You paid for a click to get them into your environment, your site. Facebook ads, very much the same thing. That's uniquely different than pay per action. Pay per action is really common. In this area, you're getting a set number of clicks at a certain dollar per click, and your job then is to say how many of those clicks actually become leads and how many of those leads become loans. This one, they take one step out. This is where most lenders start in online advertising. They don't worry about the clicks. I'm going to pay these guys so much per lead, and I really just need to know how many leads become loans. That's the most common piece of most lenders, how they start. 20% of all online consumers are aggregated by social media. Social media, there's a number of things that blogging, Facebook fan page accounts. Twitter's pretty good for the business to consumer. LinkedIn's a little different. LinkedIn's good social media, but LinkedIn is not the same messaging because you're probably not reaching your customer on LinkedIn unless you're very selectively targeting like doctors and dentists, something like that. But LinkedIn is something that you can message your builders and your agents, and you can have different messaging that will grow your business by aggregating referral sources because it's more of a professional peer-to-peer. And the last one that we're going to talk about a little bit is search engine optimization. Search engine optimization really has to do with how your site is constructed. Right? Careful. I'm going to put a warning up right there. There's a million snake oil salesmen in search engine optimization. Okay? There's some good people there, but be very careful about this. But it largely has to do with the way your site is constructed, what kind of data tags you have buried in your site, backlinks, how many other sites point back to your site that give it a quality ranking, how it's designed, and the content in it. How many people were doing online marketing back in the early 2000s, late 90s? Anybody here? Do you remember the secret of SEO back then? The mortgage, 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 mortgage. If you put mortgage, 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 and it paid 100 times, you're going to come up because it was simply about the content. They've kind of figured out, hey, it's got to be a little more, got to look a little more than just that to give a useful consumer environment. So here's a question. Do you think that the dollar cost of all of these things are equitable or the same? Do these all cost the same to deploy? No. Do you think they all ramp up and produce a loan in the same time frame? Okay. So here's the deal. Both of these are largely what I would say sweat equity projects, right? You can pay a college student to write some content for you, get a college kid, marketing student, an intern, tech guy, have them start doing some blogging for you, find information for you, create your LinkedIn. But these have a larger ramp-up time because you're really building things to get customers that will get you over time. It's a little less expensive, but it's not going to produce loans as fast as these because these are much more specific. You're paying for immediate action here, whether you're paying for a lead or you're paying for a click to your site to get a lead. So at a real high level, those are the 4 different channels that you can think about where you might find your next loan online and how quickly, what the cost variables are relative to each other. And in the end, if you do all this, you can lead by intelligent design. If you put all this together, whether you use LoanTek or not, you can make loans and you can grow your pipeline. Don't get too far out in front of yourselves with your ROI and your investments, right? Because leads are expensive. Your average lead shop, even individuals, I think if they start getting into this, they're going to spend $500 or $1,000 just to get started. Branches, some branches $2,000, $3,000 a month, some $20, $30. It depends how big you scale it. Don't get too out in front of it until you got the tools to manage it. And if you manage it, you invest in it, you should get intelligent ROI out of it.